I'll do a introduction for you and kind of lay the groundwork for the conversation, and then I'm going to let you roll, and then we do a pretty tight 30 minutes, and so if you can have your message be around 20, 25, so just make sure you wrap up by 25 after, and if you can give a few pauses in there where I might ask some clarifying questions along the way, that would be awesome.
No problem.
And is that a deal?
That's a deal.
Awesome.
Good
Awesome.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Wednesday. All right. Thank you. We're going to jump right in. We've got a power pack session. Don Yoakum, take it and run.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for taking the time. We are in for a treat today. We have Krista Mashore, who is just a dynamo. I mean, my goodness, 20 years successful in our industry at a high level in production, published author, coach, professional speaker, and social media expert. And you know, when I asked Krista to share today with you guys, my ask to her was, can you kind of help us to understand how to really translate this social media effort that everyone seems to be making into real business? And so without further ado, Krista, let's hear the real deal.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate to be here. All right. So first of all, I would like to make this interactive. So if we can, like Kim and Annie and John and William and Chris, and you guys can turn your cameras on. Eric, that'd be great. So I could see you, because I want to make it more interactive. I didn't know how much time I had. So I planned for a longer time, which is totally okay. But I'm going to make this more of a conversation than I am just a training, so that I can engage with you. Okay. So how many of you know that social media is important? Do this. All right. Yes. Okay, good. Awesome. It is, right? And how many of you like maybe feel a little bit intimidated by social media? You're not sure what you should do, or like if what you're doing is even working. You maybe feel like that. It's like, okay, I'm doing it, but like I'm not seeing any results. It's like, you know, I'm only people that are responding to me are my mom, my dad, my dog. Other than that, like I'm not getting the kind of impact that I want. Have you ever feel like that? Okay. All right. Okay. So what I want to help you to understand is that, to help you break free from that. First of all, I really believe that if you hire a company to like post on your business page and post on your personal page and put up these great stats, you're completely wasting your money and it does not work. Okay. I don't care if they're charging you $10 a month or they're charging you $1,000. It's ineffective and it will not work, because they're doing the exact same thing for 80,000 other realtors, you know, and so it's ineffective. But what I want you to understand is that I believe and know I have 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, and video and social media in combination has been 1000% what has been the differentiator, and what's really helped me overcome, you know, like make really pretty big leaps and bounds in business. And it's from social media, because that's where everybody is, and using video in conjunction with social media so people get to know me. Now, here's the deal. How many of you are like, oh my gosh, I mean, some of you are weird and you like doing video, but for the most of us, we do not. Like, video scares us. We're afraid of what people are going to think. We're not sure what we should say or talk about. We're afraid if we're going to make a mistake. We're afraid we don't like the way we look or the way we sound. I mean, right now I came on here intentionally with no makeup on. I've got just lipstick on. Okay. And I love makeup. I'm super vain. I like looking pretty. I have my hair done. I will just tell you, but I did it for a reason. I do this a lot because I want you to understand that nobody cares. All right. Hopefully by the end of this, you won't care either. You're going to be like, okay, I kind of liked her. She's a little hyper, but you know, it was okay. And what I want you to understand is this is when you're just posting, all right, number one, you're doing what everyone else is doing. And the saying that a picture says 1,000 words, well, a video says millions and millions of words. All right. A video is something that when you do over and over again, and people see you constantly, and they keep seeing you talk about the market and talk about your community and talk about interest rates and talk about problems that they have. And when your message speaks directly to them, you are developing what is called a parasocial relationship with them. What's a parasocial relationship? Well, a parasocial relationship, research shows, is basically that when people see a video of you, when people see you online, that it's kind of like you with your people that you work with, right? Sorry, movie characters. How many of you have ever cried watching TV? Have you ever cried watching TV? Men, don't lie. Yay. Okay. Thank you, Matthew, for being honest. Like, how many of you have ever been like, that guy is an a-hole, I hate him, and how many of you have been like, I love that person, like they're my hero, right? Do you know them? You don't know them. Do you feel like you know them? Right? I mean, you feel like you know these people. That's a parasocial relationship. Do you know that research shows that when we as humans, as normal, as regular people, when we post video content, that if you do it often enough and you're very consistent with it, that your community starts to feel the same way about you. And here's the good news is that a lot of times when we see somebody that we originally don't like, research shows that the more that we see them, the more they kind of start to grow on us, the more we start to like them, the more we start to kind of develop that relationship with them. Even when they make mistakes, even when they do things that we don't like, we become interested. All right. I will tell you that I have found, I cannot believe how interested people are locally in stuff. Like people will say, oh my gosh, I saw you did this and that. I'm thinking like, wow, you actually notice or care? People do. Reality TVs are the #1 most watched television program that people are interested in. It's the most, that's what everyone likes. I personally hate reality TV shows because I know they're all fake, but people love them. People are interested in what you're doing. Okay. So what I want you to think about is that if you can develop a relationship with your community in such a way that they feel like they know you, okay, who do you want to work with? You want to work with people that you know, correct? Okay. And what I want to tell you is that when you create video content, and I have always used Facebook. So Facebook is my #1 go-to. I've literally made millions of dollars, not to brag, but just using Facebook and marketing on Facebook and paying the ads manager to put content in front of my community to make sure they see me over and over and over again. Because what happens is we have to understand that as business owners, we're business owners. Like you guys are real estate agents, but you're also a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. So the backbone of every single business is 2 things. It's innovation and marketing. What's innovation? Innovation is finding a way to do things more effectively, more efficiently, different and better than your competitors. Okay. Marketing is attraction. If you can market appropriately and make sure that people see you and know you and hear about you, then if you put those 2 together, then your real estate business is going to have a much better opportunity to thrive. All right. And I don't care how good you are at your business. If nobody knows about you, it doesn't make a difference. All right. And this type of activity works the same for agent attraction. I just hit over 500 people in my downline, and I've only talked to maybe 20 people. Okay. But people will see my content. They'll see, what I'm putting out there, and it attracts them. So they're attracted to my organization and they want to be a part of my organization because of the video content and how I'm helping them. Right. So there's something called the pre-frame. Now, what the pre-frame is that when you have a customer or a lead is a customer. Okay. There's no such thing as bad lead because they're people. People will always buy, sell, or refer. They might not ever be able to buy or sell, but they'll be able to refer. Okay. So every single lead, which is a person, don't ever say bad lead. It's just a lead that eventually will buy, sell, or refer. And the goal with our leads and our people is to take them from one phase of the customer journey to the next. It's taking somebody from being a cold customer, client, agent that doesn't know us, okay, that doesn't know who we are, that doesn't know we can help them, that doesn't know what services that we provide, and turn them into a warm customer, client, or lead. Okay, which then that means they know who we are. They know that we have a product that can help them or a solution to their problems. And then take that warm lead and make them into a hot lead. A hot lead is somebody who knows about us, they know about our solution, and they know that we're the best person to help their solution. Okay, that's called the pre-frame, taking somebody from where they are to where they want to go. All right, I want to show you a study, and this right here is a study that was done from MIT. And what MIT did was they had, there we go. MIT, there was a study from MIT, and they had at MIT, there was a training that was happening, a classroom setting, and that these people were going to the same classroom with the same teacher all the time. And they told the students, hey, today you're going to have a substitute teacher. Today you're having a substitute teacher. And we really care about, our students at MIT. We want to make sure that you know that we care about you. And so we're going to give you a survey at the end of the instructor that's going to be instructing you, because it's a substitute teacher. We want to make sure you like him. So we're going to give you a survey. Okay. But before the teacher goes out, we want to tell you a little bit about the teacher. All right. So they told all these students the accolades, where the professor taught, the different credentials that he had, the different good deeds that he had. And here's the amazing part about this study, which I want you to understand has everything to do with your marketing and how you show up both to agents and also to your community. Okay. The book is called Sway: The Irresistible Pull of Irrational Behavior by Ori and Ron Brofman. And what happened is that when they gave the students, the biography of the teacher, they all got the exact same biography. There was only one word that was different in the biography. One half of the room got he was a rather warm person. The other half got he was a rather cold person. Okay, so y'all understanding me? These students had a substitute teacher. They told them all of the accolades on this biography. Everything on their biography was the same, except for rather warm, rather cold. They both watched the exact same presentation. Now, after the presentation, they gave them a survey, and guess what happened? The people that got rather cold in most cases, when it said he was a rather cold person, they said he was self-centered, he was ruthless, he was irritable, and too formal. The other half that got rather warm said they loved him, he was good-natured, he was considerate of others, and he was social. Now, people, they got the exact same thing. What this tells us is that when we market to people, our marketing and what we put before them, what they see before wanting to work with us, before meeting with us, before making that decision, has a huge factor on whether or not they're going to what they're going to do. Now, this book I've read, there's another book called Persuasion. I'm a freak about educating myself. I'm one of those nerds that I read at least 2 books a month. I'm constantly listening to something. My husband's like, you're always listening to stuff in the shower, everywhere. I love learning, right? Because I love selling to people, because I know if I can sell to people, if I can persuade them to work with me, I know I'm doing a justice, because I know I'm the best person for them to work with, right? So I want to study, how do I get people to say yes to me ethically? How do I get them to say yes to something that I know is the best thing that they should do? How do I ethically get them to say yes? Okay. The pre-frame, what you say or do or express or market to your community, to other agents, before getting them to say yes, will have a massive impact on their outcome, whether they will say yes or whether they will say no. Making sense, everyone, so far? Okay, so when you put out video content, it's getting people to know you, to like you, to trust you. It's developing a relationship with you. They're breaking down your barriers. And when they see you over and over and over again, you're changing their pre-frame. You're changing the fact that they didn't know you, and that now that they do, you're helping, you're breaking down the barriers so they can be like, oh, I actually, know Doug Grace. And if I'm going to pick Doug Grace over Troy Lyon, I'm going to pick Doug because I know Doug. Doug's answering my questions. He's adding value. I see him all the time. He's in the community. He's talking about real estate. Like, Doug's my guy. Okay. Let me give you another. Doug's like, yeah, it's me. Let me give you another example. Okay. Let's just say you are a veteran. You're a veteran. All right. And you don't have a lot of money in the bank, and you don't have the best credit, but you're a veteran. By the way, veterans, thank you for serving our country. And so if I put out video content and I say, remember the pre-frame, everyone, cold, warm to hot. If I say, now's a great time to buy a house. If you're a veteran with not a lot of money in the bank and you don't have the best credit, you're tuning me out. You do not believe that you can purchase. So you're not even listening to me, right? You're like, well, I can't buy. I'm a cold customer. I don't know I can purchase. But what if I say, Are you a veteran and you don't have a lot of money in the bank and you don't have the best credit? Do you know you have the opportunity to probably purchase a home? Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'm a veteran. I don't have a lot of money. I can purchase a home. Maybe let me listen in. That's the pre-frame. Okay, now because of what I said beforehand, I spoke directly to you, directly to your problem. I'm able to help you understand that you probably can purchase. Now what I'm doing is I'm like, okay, I got him. I turned that cold lead into that did not know they had the ability to buy into a potential lead that maybe I can help. Now I need to turn that cold lead into a warm. I need to nurture them. Now I'm going to give them more solutions about buying, solutions about FHA. I'm going to talk about buying with no money down, the different credit options that are available, how you don't need as high of a credit score, blah, blah, blah. I'm warming you up. I'm nurturing you. I'm getting you to understand that you can probably purchase. And while I'm doing that, while I'm adding that value, you're getting to know me. I'm positioning myself as the authority. I'm showing that I'm the expert. I'm developing a relationship with you. And that's why you're going to use Doug over Troy, because you know Doug. Doug gave the information. Now, all of a sudden, I'm turning you into a hot customer that knows he can purchase. And now you know that I'm the best person to help you. Now let's do it again. I'm a seller. Think about the past 2 years. Not right now. This doesn't apply, but in the past 2 years, sellers wanted to sell. And you had to be like blind, deaf, and dumb not to know it was a great time to sell. Everyone knew it was a seller's market. But a lot of sellers were afraid to sell because they were afraid they would not be able to find a replacement property. They were going to be homeless. There was no inventory. So they were afraid to sell. So if I say it's a great time to sell, oh my gosh, you're like, no, duh. The whole world knows that. But if I say, are you thinking about selling, but you're afraid to sell because you're afraid that you might be homeless? Do you know that there are options and we can help you? In fact, just last month alone, we helped 13 sellers that had the same concern sell their home and find a replacement property. Now, all of a sudden, I'm like, yes, I get it. Now, let me ask you a question. If I did a video on that, is that going to be the same as if I just post a picture? Is it going to make the same? Are you going to understand as much? Am I going to capture your attention? Am I going to develop a relationship with you? None of those things I'm not with just a text, but I will with a video. So how do we utilize social media in conjunction with video content? We do it. We find out, number one, what are the problems my community is facing? What are their concerns? What are their worries? What are their needs? What are their wants? How can I produce content that speaks directly to that need? And how can I make sure they actually see it? Well, I make sure they actually see it by investing in my marketing. Remember, innovation was the first part. I realized what's a problem? How can I solve it? How can I make sure that I turn a cold lead to a warm lead to a hot lead? That's the first half. Now, the second half is, how then do I turn this lead into a hot lead? And how do I make sure that I can market to them so they actually know about me, think about me anytime they think about their community, think about me anytime they think about real estate? What most of you are doing is you're putting out posts like, go to my seller seminar. Well, I already know I can sell. I'm afraid to. You didn't answer my question. Go to my buyer seminar. Well, I'm a veteran. I don't know I can buy. Why would I ever go to your buyer seminar? Okay, download this PDF, do this thing. We have to start with the initial need of figuring out who our people are, how we can market to them, how we can get them to want to raise their hand and say, yes, I want you to help me. Okay, and you do that by focusing on what's happening in your community, what problems are people having, how can you answer those problems so you can be the solution, and making sure they actually see your content. If you're just posting on your business page, if you're just posting on your personal page, it's not enough. These algorithms are only putting less than 1% of your content is being seen, even from your family and friends. What they're doing is they're only putting your content in front of people that you're paying to have see it, right? And as a real estate agent, that's your job. Your job is also to market. You got to market yourself, okay? And you do this by putting yourself on these social sites, by making sure that it's actually seen. Does that make sense, everyone, so far? Okay.
Yeah, Krista, can I interject on that real
yes,
quick?
I was going to say questions and I'll stop.
Awesome. Well, so far I've heard be consistent, use video, be authentic, perhaps even be vulnerable. My big takeaway though was really speak to a person and their needs with a message that's going to resonate with them. And what I'm just hearing in my mind is all these people saying, yeah, but I don't want to limit myself, right? And I'm reminded of the phrase, a friend to all is a friend to none, right? And so I love the specificity that you're speaking to. My question is, how do I reach the veteran? In other words, I have a message that will resonate with him or her. And so how do I then specifically ensure that the majority of my audience is that person?
Okay, so the majority of our audience won't be, but I want you to think about when you cast a net, like most of you are you're marketing in a red ocean. There's a real estate agent everywhere. You're in this bloody shark infested water competing with every single Tom, Dick, and Harry and Jan, Joe, and Jane in the world. Right? Everyone's a realtor. So they're all doing the same things. They're all putting out the same message. So people are just like not listening. But if you do a video and it says like, are you a veteran with no money? Like that's the words. Yeah, that's me. I'm going to watch that. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are even going to watch that video that aren't veterans, but they want information and they want knowledge, right? So sometimes you produce content, your content will get people to relist with you. They'll get people to refer you. They'll get people to resell with you. You'll reach past clients and you'll reach future clients, all from producing the right content. So it's constantly nurturing all those different types of people, but there's certain times when you're going to have a certain niche. Like for example, I'll talk to you guys about a free training that is happening soon with Dean Graziasi and Tony Robbins. I'm taking it right now. And it's like, I already know this stuff, but they are going super deep on your client avatar, like who you're going after, how you should niche, what you look for when you niche, how you identify. I mean, it's so, so good. And I will tell you is that when the more that you can niche and speak directly to one person, the more that people are going to react. The more your content says, oh my gosh, she's talking to me, like I want to click, right? The more that people will. And you can have multiple niches. So what I tell people to do is to pick one niche and to go super wide, right? Super deep, and just create like a 10, 15 content videos on that, distribute it on different sites, what I call video repurposing, so that when people go to search, that your stuff comes up, right? And continue to rotate that, and then pick another niche and go really, really deep. And the same thing. But most people aren't doing that at all. They're just like trying to talk to everyone. So everyone's just being like, they don't hear you at all. It's like that veteran. It's like that seller. Does that make sense, everyone? But I'm a digital marketer. Digital marketing is my thing. I love marketing. I'm obsessed with it. And every single one of my mentors will say, you've got to niche. Right. And everyone's afraid if I niche, I'm going to lose business. That's not true. You're still going to get the same referrals. You're still going to get to do work with all the other people, but you're just anyone that's thinking about that specific thing. If you're producing content about it, if you're talking about it, if they can do searches and they find you, they will find you, if that makes sense. Randy, did you have a question?
Yeah, Krista, amazing. And I had kind of a takeaway. I'm a veteran. I know there's a couple other veterans, Doug and some others, but what's interesting is I was taking copious notes and I'm going through this and I'm like visualizing these things in other ways as you're speaking. And when you went to veteran, it personalized it. I went, what? And then you went deeper and I got this connection from just you explaining it. That was kind of the holy grail for people to understand. That's what you're talking about through this process, right? You personalized it. You came over a couple of things that were in my mind automatically about veteran. All of a sudden I'm bought into you and it happened in real time. It was really amazing. So thank you for that.
I love that. And then Randy, do you know other veterans?
I do. Absolutely.
Can you refer me to other veterans?
Absolutely.
Will those veterans refer me to other veterans?
I think they will.
Okay. So now there's so many different niches. Like
I love the depth of that.
Yes, exactly. Right. And, think about it. If you can niche, specialize in new home communities. I'll give you an example personally. When I decided I wanted to be a coach, I was like, I could just be a coach, right? But I decided I wanted to be a real estate coach. And then I decided in real estate, I wanted to specialize in marketing. Okay. I wanted to specialize in what type of marketing? Well, social media marketing. Well, what social media platform? Facebook. Okay. What am I going to use on Facebook? Video. Now, I could have just been a coach like, oh, I'm going to teach pop buys or open houses. No, I want to do marketing on a certain platform. Does that make sense? And so therefore, that's how you have to think about it. Now, do people still come to me that want, that don't just want marketing? Yes, absolutely. Because word goes around, but that's what I specialize in. Really, it's a mindset that I specialize in, but they think it's everything else. It's really mindset. But do you get my point, everyone? Makes sense?
100%. And it reminds me of the thought that the people that create the greatest wealth in our society, there's this phrase of you want to be the best at one thing to create wealth, and then you diversify to secure wealth. But you don't diversify to become successful. You've got to choose a niche, as you said. You've got to really dive deep on it and have unique value to that consumer, right? And that gets you the Holy Grail.
It's
Absolutely.
so true. There was so much more
Krista,
I wanted to tell you guys, but
I know we're gonna have to have you back. Why don't you take a minute or two to wrap up? That this has been incredible.
Yeah. So what I'll tell you is that I'm actually doing a training right now. Part of some of my mentors is like Dean Graziassi. He wrote Millionaire Success Habits. Tony Robbins. And they are having a free training soon. I'd love to tell your people about that. I'm not offering anything, but they are people that have really been inspiring in my growth and development. The training that I'm doing right now with them, and again, they're doing it for free, and they charge millions of dollars, but they go really deep on your niche, identifying your client avatar, identifying like how to market them, what to say. I'd love to tell you guys about that because I personally am taking it. And again, it's a free challenge. Well, this is actually a different one, but this is a challenge that I'm doing. Again, this is free too, but this is just like if you're having trouble right now with your mindset, if you go to limitlessprosperitychallenge.com, for the next week, we're doing a half an hour a day, all about mindset. And the goal is to teach people about Tony and Dean's challenge that they have coming up. Again, that's free. I'm just really happy to be aligned with them because they are two mentors that have really helped me like have the success that I want. And they had to help me get through my mind block about niching, about like, I was so afraid, just like you, because they have been marketing for years and years and years. If you go to Limitless Prosperity Challenge, it's a free challenge, all about mindset. They'll be helping you with getting you like to really focus in on your business, who your client avatar is, who you should go after. One thing I will tell you is do not just look for real estate agents or coaches to help you. You want to learn to become a master marketer, because when you can market yourself, that's when you can be the best agent and the best attractor of other agents, is when you can learn to be a marketer. I think that that's something that as agents, we just haven't been taught. We have not been taught. So my focus in my business has been being a marketer first and an agent second. So therefore I can be a top producer. That's it.
That's incredible, and you've done it well. Thank you so much. And it's really remarkable how you have leveraged this, because you mentioned just achieving 500 agents, which, by the way, I think you're number 110. There's only 110 of the 83,000 agents that have broken that 500 barrier. So way to go. When I come across someone like you, I think to myself, oh my gosh, if she would just focus on it. But when you said, I think I've only talked to or personally sponsored like 20 people, the other thing that social media has done, it seems, is provided you in tremendous leverage.
Oh yeah. So I'll tell you this, the year that I left real estate to be a coach, I sold 154 homes that year myself. I was the only agent, and I had an assistant in TC. I did not work weekends, like literally never, and did not work nights. People would adjust their schedule to be around me because we offered such a different service, right? And everyone knew that if you want I specialize in digital marketing and exposure in real estate. Like that was kind of my niche. People knew it and they'd wait for me. So my video content and my marketing would work for me while I was sleeping, while I was on vacation, while my competitors were doing open houses. I was sleeping in, going on the boat, but my content was still working for me. And it still works. There's still so much opportunity because people are trying to figure it out, but they don't do it, right? They think like, oh, everyone's using it. Well, a lot of people are doing it, but they're not doing it correctly. So no one's actually seeing it. So there's so much opportunity for you in agent attraction and also in the real estate industry. And there's never been a better time for you to invest than right now, because with the recession, with everyone freaking out, with interest rates, everyone's pulling back and retreating. And listen to me, everyone, now is when you go for it. Now is when you go for it. You go for it, you invest, you go all in, because it's more leverage now because everyone else is freaking out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Krista, are we going to see you in Dallas for the Tony Robbins Build event?
Of course, are you kidding? That's why I'm so excited to tell you guys, really go to thrive135.com and sign up for Tony Singh. It's free. I'm so excited about it. It'll make you more excited when you see him in person. And Don, I'm going to do the, I need to upgrade to VIP because I want to be able to get early access to get closer to him. Yes, I'm
awesome. Well, maybe we'll be sitting next to each other then.
Yes,
well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Krista. And you guys, if you want to meet Krista personally, make sure you're at the Build event, August 23rd through 25th. Go to, if you haven't registered, go to brentgove.com, upcoming events, and you can get registered for that. That is probably the most powerful event of the year in terms of building an organization, becoming an effective leader. And whenever I go to a Tony Robbins event, I just feel so empowered, right? So let's make it happen. Let's have a great week. And Krista, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thanks, Krista.
You guys are welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Krista.
You guys are
Great
welcome.
stuff.
Thank you, Tom. Come say hi at Build.
We'll see you at Dallas.
All right.
You got it.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tom, did you want to pitch your Friday? What do you got
This
cooking?
Friday, we've got Jeff Sutherland, Growing Leaders and Leading Them. And don't forget to check out the masterminds. The next one we have coming up is Amy Sedgwick, Develop and Market Your Niche Market with YouTube. So that's in the link. That's next Wednesday at 8 a.m. So thanks, everyone.
If you're not in a mastermind, guys, we've got 7 of them. Make sure you get yourself into one of them, get connected, and go deep, go big. Have an awesome week.
Later. Thanks.
See ya.